All right, welcome to another show on Score Society TV. I'm here with my friend, former teammate, professional athlete, former professional athlete, played at the University of Kansas State, Akeem Wright.
Makatrenta na naman ito si Stan Hardinger. Right jumper 17. Gets it to go. 5 seconds for Colombia. Saan bubuntos? All right for 3. Here comes Colombia G. Akeem all the way.
How you doing, man?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. We was teammates back at Martin Luther King High School,
Yeah,
you know.
he was.
What was it? You
I
was a
was in the 10th.
sophomore. You was a
Yeah,
sophomore when I was a senior or a
yeah,
junior?
I was a 10th. I was a 10th.
Yeah,
He was a senior,
yeah.
man, and they used to try to pick with me and shit, but
No,
whatever.
you know what's crazy? I was talking to Tone because he came out here other day, and we were
Uh-huh.
talking, man, like we'll touch on this later on, but it's like, man, like too many times like we was bickering back and forth instead of like showing more love to each other. And
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
yeah, it was almost like back then it was almost like being too competitive to the point where not that you disliked each other, but it's just like, man, like it ain't that serious to be in comp with somebody
right.
you cool with. Like, yeah, so
Yeah,
but
that's how it was for me too. Like I ain't gonna front. I loved your game, but I ain't never show it because I was in
yeah,
competition with you.
we all was in comp, and it's
Yeah.
crazy because that's how me and Dre was. Like you think of Hammond, like you think of that, like me and him had a little thing, and then we wound up being teammates at Neo Show, and it's just like, damn, like
Uh-huh.
we spent all that time bickering back and forth. When I mess with your game, you mess with my game. It's just that, oh, we had to share minutes, or take me for example
But
ahead of you. You like,
yeah.
yo, I want to play. I don't want to sit the bench as a
Uh-huh.
sophomore.
I was definitely sitting the bench too because of him. Because my man right here, I was sitting the bench, man. About say what you 6'6", 6'7",
6'6".
guard.
Yeah. Yeah.
I always wanted to ask you this, bro. You can tell me you want to answer it. Is it true about the accident? Like, did you really?
Not yeah. So when I was 13, what? So eighth grade going into my freshman year, like I wasn't
Uh-huh.
supposed to go to King.
Mm-hmm.
So like we talked as kids, like me and Ebo like played all the time together. We were
Mm-hmm.
supposed to go to University of
Ebo, a Philly legend from uptown.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we were supposed to go to University of Penn. Like Ebo was going there already, Staff was going there. Like we all kind of talked about it as kids, like, yo, we gonna go to school there.
Mm-hmm.
So the accident happened like in June. So lightning
Was the
struck.
accident true though? Okay,
It
tell
was
us about
true. So
that.
we went to go swimming. We went down Morse Estates to go swim, and we
Uh-huh.
coming back home, and it started a big storm. So as we sprinting home, he lived right around the corner. So they
Right.
run ahead. I stay like 4 or 5 blocks. I'm already getting drenched in rain. I'm like, yo, I'm walking. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna walk because I ran in the street, almost got hit by a car. Like it was crazy. Like it was pouring that bad. So I'm like, yo, I'm just gonna walk home. Like fuck it, I'm already drenched,
Right.
bro. It's like, but it's storming. So like, all I know is I take a few more jogs, and then I end up in the hospital. And
Word.
so what the story was, lightning struck a tree branch, fell, hit me on the head. And the only what saved me was like after it got done storming, whoever house I was in front of, like my arm was like up in the air, like as I'm
Yeah.
on the ground. So they came out, the people that who house I was in front of, they called the paramedics or whatever, like rushed me to the hospital.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, like that was when I got the
Is
stitch.
it is it also true that it slowed your game down? Like I hear you was like faster. Because I know
Bro,
when I met you, you wasn't slow, but it was like real, it was smoother. But
it's almost like every time like I tell people this, like I don't be wanting to sound too cocky, and I don't want it to be sound like, yo, like I was that good, but I really was. Like I was like the stories is true. Like I was ahead of my time in front of
Mhm.
everybody. Like you could ask like Sean, like Slice and like Staff and all them, like how we all played together. Like before that, like I was kind of like I'm up there like with them, like
Right.
how you see them, how you view them. And like even like around the hood, like everybody knew like I'm playing unlimited leagues up Simons at 10, 11 years old. Like, and not
Mhm.
just playing like, yo, like, all right, this the young bull, so we just got him on the team. Like, nah, I'm in the game, like getting buckets.
Right.
Like that's how nice I was. So like when that happened, it hit me on the right side. So everything on my left side was basically weakened. So like my left hand
Mhm.
now, like I couldn't hardly dribble. Like my movement, everything was slow. I basically like even when I was in the hospital, like they teaching me like how to like kind of walk again, how to like use my left hand. Like
This is at
I'm
13, right?
yep, at 13
Dang.
years old. So like all that slowed me down. Like even go to my freshman year, fast forward, like I wound up not going to Penn. They sent my transcripts to Ben Franklin.
Hmm.
I go there and my mom like, yo, like you can't transfer to Penn till next year. So you either gotta go to your neighborhood school or you gotta stay here. I don't know really too much about King. I know Malik Moore is there, graduated from there at the time. Obviously, he from our way.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of him. So I'm thinking like, yo, King always been trash. So I'm gonna go there and get busy. This
Hmm.
before I really knew of Juan. Like I knew of him a little bit, but I haven't seen too much of him. So I went in there with the mindset like, yo, like even when I get back, like I'm gonna take off and like this gonna be my show, like over there. But
Hmm.
little did I know, like, yo, we got
King
Heem
was
Scott, who
tough.
of course was nice, like
Yeah.
Juan, super tough, and then like Kelvin, Smooth, like a
Yeah, I
bunch of
remember him.
guys, even
Hmm.
Terrell, Patterson, up your
Yeah.
way,
Yeah.
Elon.
My guy.
Like my coach, like he didn't like me for whatever reason. Like I
It
don't
is
know,
more,
yeah, more like I
right?
don't know whatever reason it was. Like he didn't like me.
Uh,
So he cut me as my at my sophomore year, he cut me. But the plan was like, yo, you're gonna be on JV and you're gonna get busy. The JV coach cut me because he wanted to put all his football players on there. You know, the JV coach, I forget his
yeah,
who
the
it
ball
is.
dude. I forget his name
Yeah,
too. I
yeah.
played for him 1 year.
He the head coach of the football team. So like he wanted all them. Like he had Flea on the team. Like shout out
Roughly.
to Flea, like
Yeah,
that's my
South Philly.
guy. But it's just
Uh,
like, yo, like, all right, well, now we talking about hoop. It's like, bro, like I should have been on the team. So
wait, did
all
you
that
get cut?
I got cut.
Cut JV or
Cut from
varsity?
JV at my
That's
sophomore
crazy.
year, bro. I got cut.
So
So
you
the
went
year
from, go ahead.
I saw the sophomore year, not playing, not playing. So I'm just, working on my game, trying to get back. I'm still like not back where I want to be, like obviously. And that
Hmm.
was tough because I'm watching all my peers like elevate. Like I
Mm,
said, like everybody was getting those looks, and it was almost like, damn, like this. I was tired of like blaming the accident though. Like, all right, like I gotta move past that. Like that shit it already happened. So my mindset going in, even for my junior year, it was just like, yo, like I'm gonna lock in, be in the gym, which I was.
yeah, I didn't know you didn't play a lot your junior year. I thought you played a lot.
No, like bro, I didn't get in unless we was getting blown out or we was blowing somebody out. Like that was
Mm.
the only time I
Oh, you was
played.
you was the 2020 guy to get in when they up 20 or get in when they
Yeah,
down
or
20.
we down 20. And his whole thing was because he would see my frustration, he'd be like, yo, like I got these seniors ahead of you. Now, fast forward to the senior year when you on the team, Dre on the team. My demeanor around y'all kind of changed because it's like, bro, you just hit me with my junior and sophomore. Like sophomore, you cut me, saying like, yo,
Hmm.
you gonna play JV. Junior, you sit me on the bench, saying like, yo, I got these seniors. Now is my time to rock out.
Uh-huh.
And now you got me splitting minutes with Dre. And it's almost like, fam,
Yeah.
like you putting me and him at a disadvantage because then I mean me and Dre got cooler after all this, but before he kind of bragging like, yeah, I'm taking keen minutes.
Uh, yeah,
It's just like,
He
it's just
did,
like,
yeah, Dre did just jump out there and start, he was being that
yeah, and which he should have been playing, like rightfully so. Like he could shoot.
right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we needed that. Like, I wasn't
Hmm.
even mad that he was playing. My whole thing was like, if you're going to sub, why sub me out? You could sub Quincy out because Raheem was our point guard.
Right.
You building everything revolve around him anyway. He got the ball in his hands. He doing what he telling us what to do. Like, he the captain. He been starting since he a sophomore. So it's like, bro, sub Quincy out and let Dre rock at the 2. I'm at
Hmm.
the 3.
Darren.
Like, let me get a little bit more minutes because I'm trying to get on to school. Like, I'm trying like, but he wasn't feeling it. So like my whole thing was, even after all that, I'm like, yo, I'm just gonna keep working, working, working. And I didn't want to settle for going D2.
Right.
For everybody that listened, going Division 2, 3, whatever you got to do, it's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But for me, I just knew deep down, I'm like, yo, like I bring more to this game. Like I know like I was a D1 talent.
Did you go to prep school?
No, so I did do like a prep type year. Like they started up a new one. called Marine Institute. Like
Yeah,
they
I
was
remember
trying
that.
it out. Yeah.
Hmm.
So I did that because I did not want to. I didn't want to go JUCO at the time. Like I could have went to Philly U, but I'm like, bro, like that's a terrible JUCO. Like, and I'm
Right,
home still.
right,
And I didn't want to go to like a Millersville or East Stroudsburg. And I don't want nobody taking this the wrong way. Like when you look at this, because I think back on it like, man, like if I'd have went there, like I probably would have killed even more than I did at K-State. And
right.
like they find, like wherever you good at, they find you.
So let's talk about that, right? So you went prep school, you didn't play, you got cut your sophomore year. You didn't play a lot your junior year. You started your senior year.
Yeah.
Then you went to prep school for a year. What was the transition like as far as work ethic goes when it comes to going from prep school to Kansas State? And was you under Bob Huggins at this time?
I so I went JUCO after the prep. That's when I went
Okay.
JUCO. So my mindset going into the JUCO, because you gotta remember Cuffy went to the same school, Neosho. That's how,
Yep.
because
Okay.
L got me L, shout out Larry, Coach Larry.
Larry
He
Williams,
got
yeah.
me into the JUCO.
Mm-hmm.
So my whole mindset when they send me the pamphlet of everybody that went to Division I schools, I talked to Cuffy that summer. He like,
Mm-hmm.
bro, like ain't nothing to do up there. You just gotta lock in the gym. Small little town, like ain't gonna be nothing up there. So I went up there with the mindset like, man, like this is perfect. Like I get to just spend all my time in the gym. And I really went up there with the like, yo, I'm just gonna go at everybody mentality, because when we got up there, for those that don't know, at that time back in '04, Kansas JUCOs, you can only have 6 out-of-state players
Uh-huh.
play.
I know that.
So when we got off the plane, it's 12 of us in Kansas City. Now we don't know this officially. So a month go past, we it's during the weekend. All the kids that's from Kansas, they go back home, like they drive back home. So it's just the Americans that's out of state in the dorm.
Right.
So we bored, we talking about the season. We like, yo, we gonna be nice. Like we all talking about each other, like, yo, you cold, you can shoot, yo, you got bounce, like, yo, how they gonna guard me when you over here
Uh-huh.
on the wing? So like we just mapping it all out, how we all gonna start killing. Now, a sophomore, his name Frank. He was from New York, older guy. He was like 23 at the time, 24.
Yeah.
He
And that's
tell us
old for
like,
that's
yo,
old for college,
yeah, that's old for
by the way.
college, especially JUCO.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
he tell us, he was our big man too. He tell us like, oh, like not everybody can play. And we like, what you mean? He like, oh, only 6 out-of-staters can play. So now it go from, oh, yo, you nice, like, yeah, you. Now we start really sizing each other up. Like now in my mind, I'm thinking like, yeah, you cold, but I'm over you. So now I started in my mind like I'm putting the team together. Like, oh,
Uh-huh.
he gonna play. I'm definitely playing. He gonna play. So I'm like, so yeah. So
That
when
Philly competitive mentality.
yo, when you got to understand, like now, like everybody smiles and everybody like, oh, I'm gonna play. Now it started being real. Like, oh, like the next day in practice, fam, like it was real from then on out. Like that whole period to where the coach had to pick the team, like you can see like the level of intensity. And me, I just stayed in the gym. Like honestly, it wasn't nothing to do there. You talking about a town with 10,000 people max. It's a place. The place is called Chanute, Kansas. Like you can look it
Mm.
up, Google it. Small, nothing there. We had one bar. Uh, we had a
I'm
KFC, a McDonald's, a Sonic. That was the first
crazy.
time I got introduced to Sonic. We had a Walmart and we had a GameStop, my dude. So
Mm.
that our nights used to be go to Walmart, buy something, steal half the stuff, buy it, because there's only like 3 people working in this supermarket, is super Walmart. So we up there stealing half the time, or we go to GameStop and like get a
College
game.
days.
We on the
Crazy.
game, yeah. So really it wasn't nothing to do. So my whole time, like I spent in there, and the assistant coach really liked me. So our assistant coach, he had to stay in the dorms, but he had like the big suite. So me and him, and we got the same birthday.
Uh-huh.
And we love basketball. Like we love watching basketball. Like I'd be in his room, like we'd be up all night just watching games, talking hoops. And I'd be like, yo, I want to get up shots, coach.
When I heard about you going to Kansas State, and I knew you was always good, but I be real with you, I know you was Kansas State good though. I was like, he going to Kansas State? Nah, man, let me see this. And I could see the work though. Like when I remember watching one of your games when I was in up in a senior year, maybe my freshman year of college. And I remember watching one of your games, like, oh shit, Akeem balling. What do you think like the hours in the gym on a late night helped a lot? Do you think just being around Kansas State players, like just being around more experienced players got you better? What kind of
I
got
was I
got
would
you to that
say
next level?
my freshman year, right? Now, mind you, at JUCO, because I gotta bring it back to that because that's where like everything really jumped. My freshman year was solid. Like I averaged like 12 points, close to 7 rebounds, like shot it well.
Uh-huh.
But it was just like I was just getting recruited then by mid majors. So I
Gotcha.
had like Wichita State. They
Mm-hmm.
offered me after my freshman year. They wanted me to sit out. I had them. I had like New Mexico. I had like UNLV. I had
Mm-hmm.
like College of Charleston. So it
Mm-hmm.
really wasn't like my schools wasn't really at that high level.
Right.
Now going into my sophomore year, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna turn it up, like my scoring up a notch. So we got these JUCO jamborees and where you play other JUCOs from all over the country and stuff. Like you meet up in different places, drive to different places, and we playing some of the top JUCOs. So now I'm like, yo, I got to step my scoring up because I wanted to get to that kind of level. So in the midst of doing that, like we playing so many good teams and like not to like toot my own horn, but I can handle the ball. So like my coach knows that. So he's looking at this like, man, like you really great at breaking down your man and getting past people. Cause you know, like I ain't selfish, like I pass and stuff like that. So in the
Right.
midst of me scoring, I'm also getting guys involved, like from a scoring standpoint. So he sat me down one day and was just like, yo, like, what do you think about playing point?
Right.
And I was like, man, like I've done it before. Like that's kind of like my natural position in a way, because I grew up playing it. But in high school, I couldn't play it because we had arguably one of the best point guards in the city at the time. So
Right.
I'm like, yo, I'm with it. So I go from, playing the wing to exclusively all point guard.
Mm.
Now that rose my stock so high to these other big schools. Like I was damn near for like the first 15 games, I was damn near averaging a triple double. Like I'm at like 14
Mm.
points, like 8 rebounds and 8 assists. Like
Mm-hmm.
we played this one team. I killed them. I had like 17, 9, and 9. I remember like it was yesterday because this coach was so cool. He told me after the game, like, man, like, yo, I got to make some calls for you. Like a coach from the opposing team said he had to make calls for me because he thought of like my game so high. So I actually was getting recruited by West Virginia, Baylor, Missouri. I had Illinois calling. Who else? Man, honestly, bro, like the list go on. Like even me going to K-State, like I'm gonna share that story. Like I wasn't even supposed to go there, bro. Like I had a I had a damn sit down lunch with Bryce Drew of Baylor. Like he
Uh-huh.
before he even took the K-State visit, he flew into Chanute, Kansas. We worked out, and then he set me down in the back room. He got everything laid out from Baylor new weight room to dressing room to everything, like his plan that he had laid out for Baylor going forward. Now
Mm.
I was going to go there, but then he tells me they not going to have no non-conference games because I don't know, like probably this I don't know the audience know, but like Baylor, one of the kids back then had killed somebody, and they was
Mm.
on probation for that.
Yeah, I think I vaguely remember that story.
Yeah, so like one of the players had wound up killing somebody and kind of tried to hide it. It was a big investigation, and so it wound up penalizing the team a couple years later.
Mm.
So that was my whole thing. It was just like, yo, like I don't know if I'm gonna go there. K-State actually came. They was recruiting me, but they came aggressively out of nowhere. They had a player named Fred Pete. He transferred out of K-State.
Mm-hmm.
He was like their second leading scorer too. He was averaging like 13. He wanted to go somewhere as kind of he went to New Mexico State where he just wanted to get up all the shots.
Right.
So he transferred. And now their recruitment on me like just jumped. Like they was just like, yo, because I had a scheduled visit with them like after Baylor. They was like, nah, we want him to come on the unofficial.
Right.
So I go up there and they sit me down. They talking to me after I see the campus and stuff. Basically, they put me in like the theater room. And the coach was just like, shout out to Jim Rorich. That was my first coach. He like, yo, we want you and we want to get this done like ASAP. Like, what you think? My initial response was like, yeah, man, I like it. Like this could be a good fit for me. He instantly just said, boom, let's get it done, and walks out the room. So my coach was like, hold on, hold on, hold on. He was like, yo, do you want to go here? The coaches, all five of them turn around, look at me, and I'm just like, I mean, like, yeah, like, so I signed on my unofficial visit. Not
Really?
saying that I still wouldn't have went there because it still was a great experience and it still probably was like the best fit for me.
All you guys out there, all the kids out there are
The
top prospects. Always look for a good fit. Don't look for the good
the
hype.
the the best thing is always the fit. It's always the fit. Like I try to tell kids that now. It's like, man, like, yeah, you want to go as high as you can if you want, if you are that kind of player, but you also got to know, like, all right, like this coach got my best interest. Like if I play bad, he's not going to move on for me so quickly, or I'm gonna be
Mhm.
able to grow in this system. Like a lot of kids, they go for the name, and then like once they have a few bad games, like coaches jobs be on the line. So like they panic just like players do. Like, hey, I gotta try this, man, or I gotta sit him on the bench. I gotta play this kid, or hey, we gotta get somebody else. You might have a bad first year, like it's not guaranteed. So
Right.
coaches sometimes be like, oh, I gotta go get somebody else because hey, he might not pan out his sophomore, junior year. So it's really how you got to do your homework. You got to do your
Gotcha.
homework and how you feel about the team. And I think K-State was the perfect fit for me. When I got there, I just didn't work as hard as I did before.
Okay. So yeah, I agree. I think that was like when I saw you on TV, I'm like, man, they put them in a good position to score, good position to showcase a skill the skills I saw definitely in practice, definitely in the game at King. So you went from Kansas State, now you overseas. What was the transition like going from overseas, I'm sorry, Kansas State to overseas as far as work, as far as like I know, in college you got about 3 practices a day. Was it the same thing overseas, or what was it anything? What was the difference?
It was, but it's where you go. So my first few years, right, I went Middle East. So for those that like Middle East is more of like a money grab. Like they pay really well out there.
Mhm.
And the basketball lifestyle is easy. Like you only get one practice. Maybe you practice for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, like nothing too like hard on your body. Like you playing the whole game, you playing 35, 40 minutes. All they want you to do is score over there. It's similar to like a China where they just showcase the American to get off.
Right.
That was easy for me. Like coming, so when I left K-State, I did the Middle East
What
for two
part?
years. And
What
that
part?
was super easy. I'm
What
like,
part? What part of the Middle East did you go
oh,
to?
so I did Saudi Arabia first, and then I did Dubai after that.
Okay. Dude, that's a good
So
move.
feet. So right, shout out his name Rasheem Wright. We call him Feets.
Oh yeah, yeah. We gotta give. I
So,
gotta get Feats on here, man. I ain't
yeah,
get to meet
so
Feats in person, but he's
at the
a
time,
Philly legend.
we family, like, you know what I mean? So he my first agent had me a job in Europe. I'm ready to sign.
Right.
He trying to get hold out on the team and get more money. I'm like, bro, like I think the contract was for like 70 grand. I'm like, bro, that's good. Like, I'm good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I come from, where
Right.
we at.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
know
yeah.
where we at in the hood. So I'm like, yo, I'm good, fam. Like, I don't need no more. Like, he like, nah. And this is when I applaud him because this is when Europe was paying. Like, Europe
Mhm.
was paying around this time. This is '07. Europe is paying out they giving everybody a bag if you coming out of D1. It don't matter where at. Like, you going somewhere, you was getting top-notch money
Right.
before before the recession hit. So I commend him for trying, but at the same time, I told him like, fam, like I'm good. Just like give me the contract, I'm assigning. You ain't got to try it. He like, nah, I'm gonna get you more. Talking to the team 4 or 5 days later, bro, they get a contract to somebody else. Like, nah, like yo,
I know you was
So
tight.
now bro, it's in the middle of August. There's everybody leaving. He like, yo, just sit tight, something else gonna come up. So, Feats, he like, yo, I could get you over in Jordan.
Uh,
He got the passport over there. So I'm like, all right, bet. Fire my agent. I'm like, yo, I'm good. I don't know anything about overseas at the time, though. I'm like, yo, you tell me you got me somewhere where I could hoop. They paying, I'm going.
right.
Go there. The situation ain't the best situation. Like the team that I was supposed to play on, he was supposed to be on too. That was the whole catch. It was like, yo, I'm gonna
Mm,
play, so bring my cousin with me. He wound up signing with a different team, so they didn't want to sign me. So now I'm just out there working out. How I got to Saudi was his national team had a game, and I'm up in the stands just watching the game. The Saudi national team head coach is up there because they played a winner of Jordan and somebody else that they was playing. So he like, yo, like the coach like, hey, like what you doing here? I'm like, oh, this is my cousin, I'm just watching him play whoopie whoop. He like, oh, you play ball? I said, yeah, I was supposed to play on this team, but they wound up like some funny stuff happened. So like, I'm gonna go back home in a few weeks. He
mm.
like, nah, like come like tomorrow, like come to our shoot around, I want to see you work out.
Oh, you was in the right place at the right time.
Yeah. So I'm like, bet. Next morning I take a taxi, bro, go to the gym.
Uh,
Of course, I'm frying everybody. He take my number down. He like, yo, I'm gonna get you over there. The season start in about 6 weeks.
right.
Take my email, my phone number down. I'm like, man, you playing, bro? He like, nah, I'm not. He spoke very great English. Matter of fact, me and this coach still talk to this day. And he like, yo, I'm gonna get you over there. So I'm like, all right, bet. I wait. Sure enough, I get the email. A month later, I go over there, I do my thing, and then I find another agent that gets me over in Dubai. Now, Dubai, like they paying great. The league ain't good, but the money was great.
Mm-hmm.
But it was so boring. Like I'm scoring 40, and the night before I just got drunk, like going out. So it's like, yo, like I'm coming from where it's competitive, where like a Bob Huggins practice,
Right.
where it's 3.5, 4 hours.
At Kansas State, Bob Huggins was your coach, right?
Yeah, my
Okay.
my
Right.
senior my
All
senior
right.
year, he was my coach.
All right. Go ahead. Finish the story. My fault. I just want to
So
make
he,
sure you know.
so I'm looking like, yo, like this is too easy. So even after that, I'm like, yo, I don't want to do Middle East no more. So I then started transitioning to try to get to Europe. Now, once I got into Europe, then that's a different ball game. Now you talking about, because I played in Spain, ACB. Now you
Mm-hmm.
talking about first game against Real Madrid, Rudy
Mm,
Fernandez,
mm.
Serge, Lul, what Alex was it Alex Rodriguez, the
So the
other little guard
not to
that
cut you
played
off,
for,
the European League is definitely higher than the Middle Eastern League.
oh, superior.
I wanted the viewers to know that
Yeah, like
so they understand this.
if you go to the Middle East, it's strictly for the money and the lifestyle because it's so easy on your body. Like you can literally party the night before, go to practice because your practice ain't till like 7:30, 8 o'clock at night.
Mm,
Because the Muslim players, like they don't take basketball serious. Like they go to work, they chill, they got their families, like they lazy
uh-huh.
in a sense. So like over there is just strictly money. Europe is strictly like you gotta be good, really good at basketball.
Right.
Like they gonna get the most out of you because they pay well as well. So they want to get the most out of you. So like when I was in Spain, for instance, we practicing twice a day. Talk about some first practice at 9:30, hard,
Mm,
9:30 to 12.
mm,
Come back, night practice at 5 to 7:30. We practicing twice a day all week just to play on Saturday or Sunday. And I'm not even playing the whole game. I'm playing like 17, 18 minutes. So you talk
mhm,
about all these practices, and when it finally get to the game, like I'm splitting time with really good Spanish players, other Americans. So the
mm.
European league is way harder and it's tougher on your body, but at the same time, the basketball is good. And when you coming from a Big 12 or SEC or ACC and you used to that competitive basketball, like not even just American basketball where we compete,
Right.
we get it, like, you know what I'm saying? Like we go at it, like that European like basketball is like, just for me, it was great. I didn't care about how much money I made
What year
or
was this?
whatever.
Like what, like I because you spent how many years you spent in middle because this is important too because people watch this is going to be people overseas and they might be at a lower level league
Yeah.
and they probably inspiring to get to a higher level a higher league. So how many years did you play in the Middle East before you got to Europe?
I did two initially. I did Saudi and Dubai, and then
Uh-huh.
I left the following year I did the G League,
Mm,
and I was with Bakersfield. I seen the politics of the G League, and then I'm like, man, like this ain't really for me. Like I don't want to, like I'm working extremely hard just to like only play like 4 or 5 minutes because the person ahead of me got a bigger name or got a better
uh,
agent
right.
and they gotta play. So it's almost like, yo, like this ain't. And I was kind of done chasing the league in a sense. Like at 25, I was kind of like, yo, like I enjoy going overseas. I enjoy leaving the country. Like
Uh-huh.
I enjoy like kind of like being to myself and stuff like that. So like the NBA was no longer like a real goal of mine. Like if it happened, it happened because like you could still make it from going over in Europe. But at the same time, I was just now enjoying like this process. Like, yo, I ain't gonna waste 2 years in the G League.
Right.
So I would say I made my Europe transition. My first year, I did Israel, so 2011,
Mm,
and that was good because it was second league Israel, so it wasn't the top league. And it's funny, so everybody gonna know this. Mike James, that's playing in Euro League now, he was over there at the same time, like he was in second league.
really.
So just you can even take it and be inspired by his story because he played second league Israel. And
Mm,
then the following year, I think he made it to like second league Italy or something like that. And he kept each year progressing. Like I progressed the same way, but at the same time, like I didn't reach like the Euro League level. But at the same time, I made it to different, like better leagues. Like after I left Israel, I got to Spain because a coach that I played against, like, put in a word for me, like, yo, he really good. The Spain team, I know people go through this all the time, but they wasn't paying me.
mm,
We were last in the like we wasn't last. We were probably like second or third towards last. So they kind of like was playing with money. I leave there, I go to the top league in Ukraine.
mm-hmm.
I'm over there doing well. Then what's happening right now over there where they're warring with Russia, that happened over there. So that was 2014
Mm.
when that happened over there. So like I had to leave there. So now I didn't get my money from there. So now
How
me and my
often is that happening? How often is like, because
for me
I've
it only happened 3 times. It happened in Spain, it happened in Ukraine, and one other place it happened. No matter of fact, just those two places. It been situations where it was late, but I wound up getting it. But those two
okay.
places I didn't get my money.
What do you do when stuff like that happen? Like you complain,
It's
you
really
file a complaint, you sue. Hey, I
you
know you
can
can't sue over
you
there.
can sue, but it costs to take teams to court. So the amount of money that it costs to take them to court,
Don't make sense.
by the time you get your money, it's gonna be like, damn, you're just gonna cut even because it's like, yo, like I already spent the money to kind of like
Hmm.
to do that. So I mean, it's ways you can handle it. Now, what I see people do is they kind of bash the teams on through social media and
Hmm.
kind of highlight them not getting paid. And now it's kind of like making teams like, all right, like we either got to pay this kid and just release him, or give him at least half his money and kind of like because what a team would do is not pay you. And then on top of that, they re-signing players for the following year. And you in your mind, you like, how you got the money to pay these new players where you ain't paid us yet?
How many years altogether did you play overseas?
13. So I
Thir 13
started
years. That's go ahead. My bad.
started '07, and then the pandemic year was my last year. I finished up in Lithuania, same team. That was my second year over there. I was just like, yo, I'm gonna go somewhere where I know I'm gonna get my money. I know they love me over there. Like they wanted me to
Mm,
sign. So after my first year there, I went to the Philippines in between
hmm.
going back over there. They wanted me to sign back for the next year. Like they actually wanted to do like a 2 year deal. Like they wanted me to like how I finished my career over there. That's what they wanted me to do. That's how much they liked me. So it worked out. the pandemic didn't. I mean, it messed everything up because I went in like, yo, this is gonna be my last year,
Mm.
but I was satisfied with the way it turned out though.
Damn, I didn't realize you was playing that long, bro. You was playing for a minute. You got to figure you graduated before me, and I graduated high school in '04. So
Yeah,
you've been playing basketball most of your adult life.
it's
So
it's it's
I know that.
funny, like
What?
it's how you like take care of your body.
Uh-huh.
I would say that. And then it's almost like you kind of got to know when the writing is on the wall. Like, yo, like I can't do this no more. Like,
Your sons are pretty good. 7 and 9, I think you told me.
yeah,
Now what type of now you play basketball, you played at the highest level. What type of dad are you on the court though? Are you let the coach do his thing with your kids? Are you intervening when you get a chance? Are you putting a lot of
I'm,
pressure on the kids with you at that age? How you parent?
honestly, I'm gonna keep it real. I'm all of the above. Like, I'm the dad that where, cause I'm always recording, you know, like what I try to help with them is I record their makes and misses. And what I try to do is when we get home, like help them understand the game of basketball a lot more. Like, hey, like you can't dribble going down this way, or you can't do this. You got to look to do certain things. So I try to help them in that aspect during the game.
Uh-huh.
I'm always when they mess up, like, and they come back to the sidelines, I'm always, hey, like this is better if you do this. This is better if you do that. So I'm always like teaching, but I let the coach coach.
Right.
I always let the coach coach. I'm always like, yo, you gotta listen to your coach. This is what he wants you to do. I'm just helping them understand what he wants from them, if
Gotcha.
that makes sense. Like I'm never overstepping the coach. I'm never like, yo, like I know more because I played. Like, no, like they got a pretty good coach that knows basketball, that's been coaching basketball for a long time. So what I try to do is like, look, this is what he wants from you, and I can help you. Like, if you make a mistake here and he's yelling at you, I let him do his thing. And then when they come to the bench or when we at home, I'm like, hey, this is what he means when he tells you to do this. So like I'm
Right.
all of the above because I think it's good when you got a dad that played and they trying to get to like the level that you played at, whether that's high school and college, we gotta give them like all the knowledge we want. And I know sometimes some of the parents look at me like I'm crazy, but it's a different day and age. Like
Right.
when we was growing up, we played like what you was at Finley,
Uh-huh.
probably from the time you got up until it was time to go to
Time
bed.
time to go. Thanks.
I'm up Simons for 12 hours. So it's like we learned how to play the game just by playing with each
Yeah.
other
Playing with
and being out
older
there all
old
day.
heads and all that shit.
Now the game is so different. Like now you got to push the kids. They don't play outside no more.
Mm-hmm.
You got
Facts.
to push them into the gym. You got to direct them away from the video game, away from the phone, away from the iPad, away from the friends. Like it's so much distractions now to where we ain't had that. Like we played at the park all day, and then
All day
yeah, we
long,
might have
bro.
went over somebody's crib, got on the game, and then it was like, all right, yo, no, yo, what man? Like I was cooking you earlier. Let's go back to the park. Then so
Mm-hmm.
we played constantly. These kids don't. So I got to make sure that I'm always pushing them to play, to work. And I always tell them it's your choice. Like, yo, when you come home, like what you want to do. If you want to work out, I'm taking you to the gym. We're gonna work out. But if you want to go outside, you can't go outside and just play all day. Like you got to do extra homework or you got to do this. You can't sit on the game all day. Like go to the park, like go run, like go scrape your knees up, like go be outside, be
Uh-huh.
active. Like you're not just gonna sit at home and be lazy and be on the game. So like for me, it's always put your work in, go play. Come back home, put your work in, go play with your friends. Put your
Uh,
work in, go get on the video game. Like make sure that you did all the things the proper way because I know it's kids out there. Cause I knew me at their age at 9.
mhm.
I was up Simons all day. Like, bro, my mom had to come get me when the Simons lights was off at 11 in the summer. Fam, she was up there screaming because you know I live right down the street. So it's like she's
Yeah, I
screaming
remember
through
that.
the driveways, like Akeem, like come home. Like I was up there that long. These kids don't do it the same way, so we gotta push them that hard.
I got one more question for you. I'm going through these. Y'all see me on my phone. I'm looking at through my notes and shit because I had some questions for you, good brother. Um, who you listen to before? Who you and King? Like when high school, who was like your go-to artist? Who you listen to?
Hove, Kiss, Jeezy, Wayne, like Joel Santana, like though down through that era, like that was when like rap was rap. Like it
Shit.
was like
It was a different breed back then, bro.
it was a way different. Like it was just like good music. Like not that it's not good music now. Like it's just for us, we got old ears, so it's like it don't sound the
Hmm.
same. So
We got another, and I got a game for you, bro. It's called Who You Got. So who we want to talk about players, man. Um, Scoring wise, who you
you're
got?
gonna put the pressure on me.
Who you got? You got Melo or T Mac? Who you got?
See now, I'm biased though, so like even when I answer this, I'm the biggest Carmelo fan, so I gotta ride with Melo.
Bob Melo. Yeah, I
Gotta
like.
ride with Melo.
I think T Mac is better than Melo though.
I think when you look at their games, like from prime, I want
That's
to
because
say
you. That's because your game is almost like because you got that
yeah,
smooth game.
like T Mac. I want to say like that stretch, like 3 year stretch where he was probably like the top, really top dude because he was killing Kobe. Like it
Hmm.
was to that point, but at the same time, I feel like Melo is the better scorer because it was inside out. It was post up. It was face up, and then he later on stretched out to the three. So it was almost like man, he could do it all, like from the mid post to the wing to the three to the face up. Yeah, I gotta roll with Melo. I gotta
All
roll with
right,
Melo.
I'm gonna go. Who you got? Allen Iverson or Kyrie Irving?
As who's the better what scorer or
I
player?
was score.
Scorer. AI is the better scorer.
Are you basing off
Uh,
stats or are you basing off ability?
I'm basing it
'Cause
off. I'm basing it off of ability because I'm looking at the landscape of their team. Like AI, it was just him. Like nobody else really put up
facts,
crazy.
big
And I'm talking
facts.
about prime AI, not when he went to the Nuggets and had Melo or Detroit. I'm talking about the Sixers AI. Like it was like, man, when somebody 6 foot can lead your team to a championship, like that's he gotta take it. Like Kyrie now he has more to his game scoring wise. Like he can shoot the three better. His handle is better. He's not as fast. He's more dynamic underneath the rim, but just flat out scoring the ball at
Hmm.
that man, AI all the way. Like that's just what
Yeah,
he did. That's just
I'm
what he
biased.
did.
I'm gonna go AI too. I'm
Yeah,
biased.
that's just,
Well, all right, Devin Booker or Jason Tatum.
that's a good one. Damn, that's tough. Ah, damn, I'm gonna go Tatum because he could,
Uh-huh.
like I said, like I like those. He could score on the wing and he could post up.
Mm.
So when you got like different layers to your game, like I feel like Book, it's a lot of it's heavy jump shot. He got the floater, like he could get to the rim. I just felt like Tatum, I know if I give it to him late in the game, I know he gonna get to a spot and be able to get to a bucket. I feel like Book, you could almost I seen what Dallas did to him in the playoffs with shutting him down,
Mm.
getting the ball out his hands and kind of like minimizing his ability to really score the ball. Every time I seen Tatum have a bad game, it was just because he was off. It wasn't
Right.
because nobody stopped him from getting to a spot, or it wasn't he didn't create space to get the look. It just because he was off. And like sometimes, like you just had those games. It's too many times I saw a Book really get kind of shut down when you really needed him to step up.
Yeah, I give you that. I'm gonna go with Tatum too. I'm gonna go with Tatum. I think Tatum, he's more proven right
Yeah.
now. This is the last one. Damian Lillard or Luka Doncic?
Oh, Luca.
You gonna go with Luka? Why Luka? I like Dame over Luka.
I
I,
like I like Dame. Anybody, anytime you 6'2", 6'3", and can score the way that some of these guys can, like that's why I'm so hesitant to answer that. But at the same time, man, like Luca is crazy. Like I saw a post the other day. His first half stats, he's averaging 20, like 6 and 6. Like
mm,
that's for the first half. Like that's insane.
he was one of.
So he's a high volume scorer. I feel
Mhm.
like Dame is more efficient because he could do it less and he shares it a lot more. Like, and he could play off ball. Luka, he's like the right-handed, taller version of James Harden. Like, gotta have the ball in his hands. He gotta dribble for 18 seconds. He gotta just like that's just his game. But ultimately, like he the better scorer. Like when you look at it, more efficient, Lillard, but Luka just score more. Like that's just what he do. Like
Yeah, fair enough. I'm gonna give you that. All right, man. That's all I have for you today, bro. I appreciate you coming on, man. Definitely always looking at your videos, looking at your son's growth, man. Looking forward to
I
seeing them
appreciate
progress.
it. Yeah.
Keep doing your thing, bro. We always stay in touch anyway. We DM
Yeah,
and
you
text and
already
all
know
that
what it
shit.
is. Yeah.
But that's another show for Score Society TV. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, share, comment, and until next time.